In this episode, we're going to be looking at the energies that have been coming in that has affected so many in the spiritual community with the throat chakra. It's energies that came in with the 7/7 portal, and so we're going to unpack what's going on, because there's a few differing aspects within that which we all need to look at, sit with, be introspective with, and to use our discernment. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hi and welcome to Oaklaw Door. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Claire Attio. For those that are returning subscribers, thank you. And so the energies that have been affecting the throat chakra that came in with the 7/7 portal and has stayed with us, and it's been interesting to see how it's been unfolding. I know when those energies came in, I really felt it on my throat. It was like somebody had gone and grabbed hold of my throat, and I was like, whoa, okay, what's this? Now, there are two aspects. There are energies did come in to help us expand the throat chakra, to speak our truth in a greater way and disseminate the information that is deep within us, that adds. I mean, if you follow me, you will know that I always say the spiritual journey is a collection of all the puzzle pieces, and when we do the journaling within the spiritual journey, over time, whether that be weeks, months, years, we start to put those pieces of the puzzle together, and we start to be able to see the picture of who we are as a spiritual being. That is part of what's going on with these energies. You're being given the keys to unlocking aspects that are affected by your throat chakra. But because of that, and it's always those polarities, because of that, we also have energies that are malevolent, that came in and are trying to attach themselves so we don't speak our truths, so that we don't get that information out there, so we don't share differing aspects of our journey that allow others to pull in pieces of their puzzle. Remember, we're all connected. We exist on an interconnected grid with all sentient beings, and so every piece of information that resonates with us on a vibrational level should be sat with, should be introspected on, and then we use our discernment with consultation with our spirit guides, with God, with Allah, with higher self, with the universe, with divine, whatever you call it, as to whether we integrate that within ourselves. And this is a big part of why, because they were such beautiful energies that came in, why we have the polarity and these malevolent energies that are trying to stop that. And if you watch spiritual channels like this, if you watch tarot readers, you will have noticed for the last few weeks they have been tumbling with their words, or their pick up on an energy, and they can feel that they're not that they're being blocked. I mean, we can get past it. It's not actually blocking us, but we've got to a stage now in our evolution with those higher levels of Christ consciousness, and the way and the discernment that we have now with the energies. Many of us are going, okay, is that mine? Is that not mine? Is this malevolent or is it benevolent? And we're making those discernments. And it's really important to do that, because energy can attach itself anywhere, and I've done previous videos where I've actually said people, you know, are carrying negative energies and they're not fully aware, and from carrying those negative energies, from having those negative energy attachments, they are acting out from that place of negativity, not from a place of positivity. And this is why it's really important to learn to feel your own energetic body and to understand it and to trust it. It's about building that self-trust. Nobody's expecting any of us to be perfect. It's about trusting ourselves where we are in the moment and moving through what we're facing in the moment. As I said, when those energies came in, I could really feel it on my throat, and I was like, whoa, and I sat with it, and yes, it wasn't mine. I do not do return to sender. That is occasionally what happens, because that is what divine, the ancestors have decided is the best course of action for that person to learn. They receive what they try to project out. I don't involve myself with that. I don't believe any of us need to get ourselves involved with cycles, karmic cycles. I stepped away from that karma, you'll get yours. No, that karma is about learning. But if we choose to use our free will in a way that we choose not to learn, but in that choosing not to learn is not a massive issue. It's obviously you don't get that soul growth. It's not a massive issue. It's the choosing not to learn and still sending out ish to other people because we are in a wounded place. That is what the ancestors, that's what is waking up some really heavy duty ancestors who are now going out and kicking ass. Basically, they're going, you know, you've been given X amount of time, you've been given X amount of opportunities, and I can't tell you what that X is because I'm not part of that world. I'm not part of that energy, but the ancestors see it all. They know what's been going on. The divine sees it all. They know what's been going on. And so they're now coming in because there have been many, many situations where there were dynamics, energetic dynamics set up in relationships that were to help, assist, evolve, work together, have that collaboration, and yet one party or the other decided to use their free will not to do that. Usually from a place of fear. When we actually get to the crutch of it, it's usually fear or a sense of lack. That fear usually comes from a sense of lack when we really start to take it back. As I said, that is not a massive issue. It does stunt soul growth, but it's not a massive issue. What the issue is and why we're seeing the spiritual warfare that has been playing out for definitely really fiercely for the last 2 years in the spiritual realm actually start to manifest itself here on earth is because the ancestors have been awoken to some real nasty, vicious ish that has been projected by those that have been unwilling to do their healing. I'm not going to get into good and evil. At the end of the day, darkness stems from pain, from hurt. Hurt people. And they tend to retain that hurt and that pain and act out from it because they are scared to look at their own darkness, scared to face their own darkness. Now, there are some energies that have been attached to people that are getting them, that are feeding, let's put it that way. It's not getting them, because we all have free will, and we all have a choice, but they are feeding the darker psyche. So they are acting from that because they're being fed from that with dark energies. Yes, vicious energies, vicious entities. And I don't want to say that, I don't want to scare people, because as I said, we do have control over this, but those darker energies that are attached to people, and then those darker energies are feeding into their dark psyche. They still get to choose. That's the bottom line. They do still get to choose, but it does make it harder for them. It does make them harder, because very often they don't realize that they are acting out of a space of darkness, and that darkness exists because of the lack of love. And this is why self-love is so important. When we start self-love, it's a game changer. It's not just a case of, I'm going to be the best version that I possibly can. That is really wonderful. And yes, I don't say that in a very derogatory way, because it's not important. It is important, but it's not. It's where we're coming from a frequency, where we're coming from energy. It's the game changer of, and I can feel it on my throat now. They're pushing against my throat, so excuse me. It's the game changer that when we bring and start to practice self-love, we bring more high vibrating light energies into our vessels that give less space to those shadow aspects, those shadow energies, any entities, any energies that have attached themselves for malevolent purposes that are causing and creating havoc in the world. And there is a pushback on this, because we are doing this and they don't want the information getting out there. Loving ourselves is about, yes, it is about excelling ourselves and becoming the best version of ourselves in this physical life. But if we take out the physical 3D aspect of it, by loving ourselves, by becoming the best version of ourselves, by, and they're pushing back again, by raising those higher vibrations, what we're actually doing is we are eradicating. We are not feeding, and we are not giving space to and for those lower vibrating energies that create a sense of lack, create fear. And if we don't have, and this is what's actually going on, if we don't have that sense of fear that stems from lack. Now, we will always have a level of fear in the egoic mind, because that allows us to regulate ourselves, and also that gut reaction of a fearful situation, which we have at the moment, we still need, because we've not reached utopia on a 3D level, and so we still need that small aspect there to remain safe, to remain alert. But it's the fear that stems from lack that we're starting to eradicate. And there will be a time in the future where we eradicate all fear. because we don't need it. We're only needing it in the sense of needing it because, so that we can navigate a very dysfunctional environment. Once we've released that lack globally throughout humanity, the utopia will exist, and so we won't need any fear whatsoever, because we would have heightened our emotional intelligence, that we can still be alert, but we're alert without fear. And that's where we're going in the future. And it's interesting, I had a conversation with an amazing guy a couple of years back, and he was saying, oh yeah, but we need fear. And yeah, I agree with him to a certain extent, that at the moment, because of where the world is, we do need that little bit of fear, because it helps us to navigate. But the future is that there is no fear, and it is just based in love. It starts with us. It starts with sitting with whatever energies are coming in and making an assessment, using your discernment to go, okay, is this something coming up for me? Is this something within me that needs looking at, that needs healing, that needs releasing? Or is this being projected onto me because what I have to say is an intrinsic, important knot, or part of the knot, to the collective? Only you can make that decision. Drink plenty of water. Using the voice, whether that is singing joyful songs, whether that is chanting, whether that is mantras. Use your voice that helps you to raise the vibration in that chakra and that heart chakra. Remember that heart chakra is the epicenter of all the chakras within us. We need to make sure that that is constantly balanced, clean and clear. Do your energy cleansing practices as you do them. I've always advocated daily. Have a routine. It's like brushing your teeth. You wouldn't go out the door without brushing your teeth. You don't go out the door without first energetically cleansing yourself and recharging yourself. And just enjoy the process. Yes, this is going on. Yes, there are some heavier, trickier, challenging energies that are coming up towards us to navigate. Just keep in mind, some of the things that I talk about will resonate for you. For others, it will kind of go and that's absolutely fine. It will depend on where you are on your journey. Take what resonates with you, leave the rest. But as you move through your journey and something comes up and you go, oh, I remember so and so said something about that, go back, watch it, because then it will then start to make sense to you. It's all moving. We're moving very fast now. Make sure that you drink plenty, make sure that you rest, make sure that you care for yourself, care for your family, care for your neighbours. Just put that love out there. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, when it comes to releasing, getting rid of, taking off energies that are being projected to you, as I said, I don't involve myself in the karma of that. What I actually do is I transmute with love into love and return to the collective to be used in positive way. That is what really resonates for me. That is what and how I've been guided by my team, by Divine, to deal with these situations. Check in with yourselves. What do your team want you to do? I will leave it there. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. There's lots more energies coming in. There's lots of movement. There's lots of real positive things going on. Allow yourselves to see them. Give yourselves permission to see the beauty that exists in our world, because honestly, I don't think it's ever looked more beautiful than what it looks like at the moment. But we have to choose to see it. If you've not yet subscribed, then hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get notified every time I post a new video. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.